I thought, because it came right back on. The lights came right back on. So I don't think anybody was watching live anyway. So what can I say? I being me, T from the Pattersons, take the train to Tibet. We were doing something here. Yeah, we were doing it, and then we were in blue light. We just ended blue light. As we was in blue light, the electricity went off because we're in India. I guess India think they're like South Africa. They could pull the load shedding thing. I have no idea what's on their brains. Anyway, so we had to stop, and now we're back, and now I gotta light my incense back up, but I can't. Oh, my light is right. Toward the snake, it would have bit me. It was right there in front of me. Because as you may or may not know, what I do is I use the incense as a what we call a video watermark. Video watermark. That's what we call it. Come on, thing, get out of here. Close up. And so I was telling you about I was talking about the parchment when I write the poem on the parchment, and then I go from the parchment, I go and put it in I put the poem, the Kwansaba, into the what do you call that? Into the phone in the notes for spell check, and then I go from spell check. Well, go from that. I put it in the book, like there, like that. So and I showed you how I have it. This particular Kwansaba I finished last night. Oh no, yesterday. So you got it right there. And then what I do is I take pictures of it and I post it up on Instagram, and I do a cold reading. That's my first cold reading of it, which, I'm not a very good reader. Hey, look at that. Not only is the light back, but this is Grand Rising. This is a Grand Rising report, by the way. This is sunrise just hit. So everybody, let's take our breath again. Take a breath in, and then take a short breath on top of that, and then you breathe out. Ready? Welcome to the new day. Sunrise. Hey. Sunrise in southern India, which is where we are right now. So we're talking about the making of this Kwansaba that I did this week. It started last Sunday at Johnny's. See, because every Sunday I read the Kwansaba that I made that week at Johnny's. It's become a thing. It started last year with the Artist Cafe, where I did a poem a week. And the Kwansaba is a 49-word poem, so it's a short poem, 49 words, 7 words per line, 7 lines for the poem, and no word more than 7 letters. So therefore that's what's called a Kwansaba. Well, it's invented by Eugene B. Redmond, a black arts poet. There's a black arts movement in the 60s. He's out of that kind of tradition. And he's in East St. Louis, Illinois, right across from St. Louis, Missouri. See? He's close there. I got to check in on you, Eugene. I don't know what's going on with him. I better write him to you. I haven't even been telling him I've been doing these Kwansabas every week. So I haven't been able. I'll wait till I get to the States in May. So when I get to the States in May, I'll give him a ring, see if he's, what's happening that side. Anyway, so I do these Kwansabas, and then I post them up on Instagram. So this one has been posted, but then what I do is then come Sunday I perform at Johnny's. So I was just going through the Kwansaba and see when I did this just finished. So let's go back to where I was. Let's go back. Oh yeah, there we go. So now I'm just going to turn it around so you can see a little bit better. Kwansaba that'll work. Whoa, hey, wrong way. There it is. Okay. So this is the one I just finished. I'm using this thing as a pointer here, so you can see. So I was explaining that I like the word circa. I'm going from the bottom. I like the word circa because it's like a classical poem kind of thing. If something's really old, they don't know the exact date, they could put circa. So I just like that word, so I use that. But it was written somewhere between the end of March, the beginning of April. So that's put circa March/April 2025. Which I guess is right. I should put circa because you're writing a poem. You don't it comes to you a certain time. It came to me last Sunday, but I didn't start. I wrote down, I think, the title. I wrote the title down But then not until the next day, the Monday, that I started writing, and then Tuesday I wrote some more. Then Wednesday I wrote some more. Then yesterday I finished it. So I can't put an exact date. So it is circa, I guess. Right. And then we have I always signed up. I have many poetry name alliterations. I started writing poetry in 1971, and at that particular point, for a number of reasons, in fact, let's do this. This is good. This is good. This is a grand rising report. Let me say the grand rising of my poetry metamorphosis. Right? So let me go back to my lovely face before we go back to there. So like in 1971, I was actually in the Air Force, right? But I started writing poetry because I couldn't spell, right? Well, can I tell you? I couldn't spell. So I decided, hey, poetry is worse, like that. Now, I have been in theater. I wrote, the only thing I didn't write anything really. I wrote a letter to the Negro Ensemble Company one time. They got me into the Negro Ensemble Company. So there you go. So now I'm in the Air Force, 1971. They put it here so you can see. It's my passport over there. I like to show my passport so you know. I'm an American African living in Southern Africa, living in South Africa. I say American African because I carry an American passport, right? And I have an African mentality, which is why I'm very creative. I'm African creative. Okay, anyway, that's not the point. So I started writing then. But here's the thing. I was inspired when I started writing. I was actually inspired by Laura Nyro, the singer, the I guess you call her folk singer, from the 60s, friend to Patti LaBelle. Peace and blessing on Laura's, souls, because she passed of cervical cancer, something like that. Anyway, great singer. Eli's Coming, Eli and the 13th Confession, the great couple of albums she did. In fact, here's a fun fact. Spiro Agnew, who was the vice president to Richard Nixon, since they were asking, how many do you listen to any black music and something like that? He said, yes, I listen to Friends of Distinction. Friends of Distinction, right? Friends of Distinction was having to Laura Nyro, and she had this song called Save the Country. This during the Vietnam era. So Friends of Distinction, they ran right into Mary McCool and them, they ran right into the studio and right away recorded, because they had done another Laura Nyro song. They ran right into it and recorded Save the Country and released it. I mean, it was like, in no time, they released that sucker. You gotta love artists, man. We're really good. Anyway, so that's what started me writing, and I saw Laura Nyro at the Fillmore East live. I really liked her. I liked her music. I liked her her songs were deep. They were deep. I mean, they had all kinds of meanings in there. I mean, it's like Kendrick Lamar-esque. Kendrick Lamar before he's Kendrick Lamar, like deep poetry, really. And so I was in the Air Force, and I was a medic, and the medic barracks was away from the rest of the barracks, something like that. We had our own little section where the dispensary was in that section, and the dental clinic was in that section. It was there. So this was just early on when I first got to base. Yeah, this is when I first got to base. This must be the end of 71. Yeah, it must be the end of 71. Something happened. You could sneak. The benefits where you could sneak girls into the barracks. You could, right? And so there was this one WAF, Women of the Air Force, WAF. She's a white girl, blonde, sort of, built, Marilyn Monroe kind of esque, thing. But she was a little off. Anyway, so the dudes were in there running a train on her, were taking advantage of her, stuff like that. And I got pissed. I mean, see, I'm into justice. I can't explain this to you. Anyway, so I wrote this 3-paragraph thing telling why they were wrong. And what I did, I guess I was a snitch, because what I did, I sent it, I think I posted it or something like that. I posted it someplace, something like that. Anyway, the company commander got a hold of it. And I didn't name any names. I just said, well, this was going on, to stop them to do something about it. I think she was a little touched, if you want to say. So anyway, so it did. So that did it. That she wasn't abused anymore like that. But in fact, it was interesting because they knew I signed the thing. Yeah, okay, I signed the thing. I said, no, this is wrong. But I forgot what the letter was. It's a three paragraph letter, and each paragraph had a space between it. And at the end, I put three words at the end of the thing. And so the letter really was like a poem. I can't explain. It was like a poetic letter. Let's put it that way. And so the company commander had gotten the letter, and he called me into office, something like blah, blah, blah. I said, no, these guys with blah, blah, blah. I didn't name any names, so I said, these guys were blah, blah, blah. And so they took care of the matter. But he got the letter, and I have to say something about this company commander. He came with the company commander just meant that he was administrative for our thing. He wasn't a medic. He was just a dude that was a captain. And he was in charge of the medics. That was his thing. And then you had your regular medic things, right? So he didn't really have any. Well, he wasn't I can't explain it. He wasn't a medic. Let's put it away. He was an administrator. But he came in about the same time I came in. And for some strange reason, he had a dislike for me. He did not. Immediately, I get this all the time. People they just don't like me. I didn't do nothing to nobody. I'm just minding my own business. And they just have an instant dislike towards me. They're jealous or something. I don't know what they're doing. So anyway, this guy, I see he was jealous, I guess. Anyway, so he called me up and he said, well, blah, 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 because your letter, we rectified. I guess they were saying that it was addressing whatever I addressed in the letter. And then he said something very strange to me. Because like I said, he was like not a mortal enemy, but he's my enemy. I'm sorry, I got to go off. I got to go off the time. Got so bad, and see, I don't take no stuff, right? One time, I had my wisdom teeth taken out. I had 3 wisdom teeth taken at one time. So I was just hopped up on something, man. I was really whatever. But we had an important meeting from the back, and I had to be there, right? And this company commander, he was chairing the meeting. And everybody knew I had just come from the dental thing. Everybody knew that I was like high because of the wisdom tooth. And so I remember, in fact, we were in the office. We was in the dental conference room office, whatever. So I come in a little late because of the operation, because of taking the wisdom teeth out. So I come in and I sit down. So he's saying something. Then I go like, yeah, but blah, 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 blah. It is funny because everybody knew that we were, well, that he had some sort of tiff with me. But everybody knew me too at that particular point. This is much later. This is like in late 82, whatever it was, 83. And so everybody was like, oh man, this is interesting, right? And I just kept on, yeah, blah, 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 blah. But I was ridiculing him, right? Now, I was high, but I wasn't that high, right? And everybody knew I wasn't that high, right? It was like, well, I guess it was like cocaine, synthetic cocaine, whatever it was. I don't know what it was. So anyway, so that was fun. Back to the point. So anyway, so he had said to me, and this is just, no, this is way before then. This is when he said to me, "This is such good writing. I wish I could write that good." He said it like that. It was like, I have to explain something about my character. I'm not really you can give me a compliment, but I shouldn't say I don't take it seriously. I say, yeah, but it doesn't really affect me like, it just doesn't. I'm going like, yeah, I keep on moving, you know what I mean? Like that. Okay, I don't know why I told you, I had to go off and just tell you that, but let's get back to the poem. Boom, 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 boom. Okay, so we have this poem here. And like I said, we have the circle. I said the reason I was going there because the poet. So right now I'm known as the poet. The small T-H-E, run together, big P. That's how I signed up. But I started out as first it was back then because I was in theater. They called me Tony Sloan because it was like a theater alliteration was really good. When I started writing poetry, I put Tony Sloan, but it was the words, it was individual. Then I went to Tony Sloan 1971 because that's when I started to write. And then then for a long time after, I didn't like that either. Then I went to Tony Sloan, all lowercase letter, run together. Okay, I was using that poetry line for a long time. Then I basically stopped writing poetry. I shouldn't say that, but so that went for a long time. That was my last alliteration. So now my poetry alliteration is that what you see here. I have the poet, and usually it's a dash, and when I'm typing out, it'll be Anthony typed out. You don't see it here, but usually I sign it like that, and then put the date like that. So this is the Kwansaba that I wrote. Let's do the lines backwards. Blow their brains back before them came, back before them crimes. Now this is a poem about colonization. So when I say blow their brains, interesting line. Now you could say I'm talking about violence, like a blow, meaning like a weapon, or maybe I can just like blowing your mind, like I could blow their mind, right? Blow their brains, but I'm saying brains, so they like blow their brains out. Anyway, because this is the colonizer, we want to get rid of them. But I could do it like I said, I could do it like I did, blew my company commander's mind, like that. Back before them crimes. Now this is interesting, before them crimes. This is like when I say back before them crimes, the them, I'm using them here, meaning them, but I'm using it like a Rasta kind of thing, like a Jamaican, I'm saying Rasta kind of thing. Because to me, Rasta is the most radical. They're radical. I mean, Rasta wrote a song one time to say "kill the Pope." That's how they roll. Then I put crimes. Now the crimes is like that, but since it's written, you see I use these markers. Right, like this. And one of the markers I use for this thing is this yellow. You see the yellow marker there? That yellow marker there. When I'm doing that, so you can't really see it. So you see the S here. So you can pronounce it as crimes, or you can pronounce it as crime. Blow their brains back before them crime. Okay, could be like one day. The overall crime is the injustice, is the racism that they instituted like that, or crimes, the many crimes they did. They were all the lynchings and stuff like that. But them crimes, that's my ode to, because I just like the way Jamaicans, and actually I like the way colored people talk too. They got this way with words. So that's the last line. See, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 words, right? Less than 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. See, less than 7 letters each word, right? The line before that says, "Make them know you're sublime this time." Okay, now this is interesting. Make them know you're sublime this time. Now, a lot of times in Black English, people don't, it's just supposed to be a contraction, like you are, right? And so in Black English, so if you're just saying it, you can say you're like that, and it can mean anything. But if you're writing, you're supposed to put the contraction there. However, if you really look, so grammatically, whatever, according to written English, this is incorrect. This is spelled incorrectly. However, this is a poem. So if you look at it, make them know you're sublime. You're sublime. Make them know you're sublime this time. Make them know that you're meaning like the sublime that you are. Not that you are sublime, but you're sublime. You're sublime as using like sublime is a weapon here. Let's put it that way. So I guess you can even connect it to this. This sublime is that what will blow their brains back before them crimes. So you're sublime, not you are, but you're sublime. That you're sublime, like oh man, I just not getting all jumbled up. Like you're sublime, meaning that not that you are, but it's you're sublime as in this sublime belongs to you. It's not that you are sublime, but this weapon, this sublime is you. Okay, this time. Okay, you got that. So sublime is not meaning that you are sublime. It means that the weapon that you use is sublime. That comes from you. Okay, is that clear enough? Oh boy. Again, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 in that line. Before that, now is time to repent one's mind. Now you hear that one mind. So it could be one mind. Use that the yellow there. Now is time to repent one mind or one's mind. Now, somebody's got to turn around. Repent meaning to turn around, to stop going another direction. Let's put it that way. So I could either be talking about the victims of colonization, or I could be talking about the colonizer. We don't know here. Let's go. Before that, we go, be we bred to satisfy worship need. Now, this is interesting. So we're taught bread also meaning your how you say you're born whatever they born you to satisfy to satisfy worship need. They whatever they're worshiping, they need you to satisfy that. Also, they actually, in a sort of weird sort of sense, I'm talking about the they meaning the colonizer. The colonizer also worships what they bred. Okay, and it's a need. They have this I guess there's this need to do that. I don't know. They have this need to have you around so they can worship you. I don't know. Some sort of perverse kind of thing. Before that line says, and who is we forced to concede? Now you see this upside down. I say upside down question mark, and then I travel a bit, and I really like the Spanish way of putting a sentence together. When they have a question, instead of just having the question mark at the end of the sentence, they signal that this is the question coming up here, that this is a question. So and this actually helps you to read too. So, and who is we forced to concede? Who is we forced to concede? Who is, again, this is like, who is we? This whole thing is like a lot of stuff has to do with black English too. And that's why that you're a black, it's all black English, right? And the line, forced to concede what? Let's look at the line before. Come they to bray our source riches. Okay, come they mean the colonize, come to us, come to our land, to bray, bray like a donkey, with their donkeys to take the gold or whatever, to take the minerals out of them. Our source riches, remember, it's our riches that they've come to our land to do. And by braying, not only do they take it, but they brag about that they take it. You see, they use the donkey. It's all in that. That's all in that. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay. First line of the poem. It starts with a question. Again, upside down, so we know it's a question. Who on this earth are those they? Are those they? Meaning the colonizer. Who are they? Who's people coming? And they're question mark. So I just went it backwards. I explained this poem backwards. Now let's read the poem. It's called Decolonized Decolonizers. Sorry. D is I come in my mother's whatever. My mother's line. My great grandmother was Mohawk, but my great grandfather was Gullah Geechee. So they don't say the, they say D. So I've been using D for a long time, except for when I use like in a poem, like in a proper English setting, I will still use the word the. But when I'm just writing it my own, I don't have any thes in here. So I put D instead of the. So the colonized decolonizers. Decolonized. So this is like the colonized, decolonized, picture I'm saying decolonize the colonizers. That's how it reads. I know it doesn't say it like that, but it reads like that. Okay? So you want to decolonize the colonizers. Okay? Decolonize the colonizers. Okay, and it's the ultimate liberation, Kwansaba. So I call it the ultimate. In other words, to ultimately liberate you, what you actually need to do is decolonize from the colonizer. All right. Okay. Now I see. This may not be as clear as I want it to be. I just like to put it that way. The colonized, decolonizers. Huh. Decolonize. I have to look at that. Maybe that's the wrong title, but I'm going to leave it there because it's a mistake. I like mistakes. Okay, let me put this back around. Okay, so let me move this back around. And of course, we got to land my helicopter like this. Okay. So that's the poem I'm going to present on Sunday, and that's the latest Kwansaba. And now that we went through it, you're right. Because that line, the line came before the poem came. Decolonize. Oh, I see. The original. Oh, I see. When I originally wrote that line, it was decolonizer's mind. the decolonizer's mind. It's supposed to be like the colonizer can decolonize the colonizer's mind, but that don't fit either. I'm going to leave it like that. You know why? Because I wanted to make a mistake. I said I didn't want to make a mistake. It could be viewed as a mistake, and most likely they will. If they ever study this poem, they're going to say, this don't make no sense. They'll spend hours trying to do it like that, trying to. Which is why the internet is so fascinating, because now I can admit that it's a mistake. And so if 100 years from now, if they ever want to, look it up, they can say, oh, here was the poet, man. And it's like, what's that poem? Kubla Khan? What's that? One of those guys wrote the poem. They wanted the age-old question, is the poem, because it came from a bunch of other lines, is the poem edited, or is it original poem, or is it edited? Those kind of literary questions come up. So anyway, so that's it. Sorry for the interruption in the beginning with, why am I sorry? It's the Indian government that did it. Okay, so that's it. I gotta go. This was a Grand Rising reporting on the latest Kwansaba that DeBrother done wrote. Okay, talk to you later. Bye.